This is where we sleep. This is how we live, Michael says, as the Russian political activist turned FSB informant shows us around the Dutch refugee centre, where he's now seeking asylum. All I want for the future is a positive, normal life, he says, without any more of these adventures. It was as a young opposition campaigner that Michael, seen here at an anti-government protest in Russia, caught the attention of the Kremlin's security service, the FSB. His later work for Alexei Navalny, Russia's most prominent jailed opposition leader, must have made him particularly valuable. But he was originally targeted to be turned, he told me, with FSB threats.
They knew I was avoiding military service and gave me a simple choice, either to cooperate with them or go to prison for years. Basically, I was threatened, and as a 19-year-old student, very frightened. There are so many stories, even videos, of people being abused in prison. To even think about that is scary.
You were working with Navalny. There's pictures of you working quite closely with him. What kind of information did you give the FSB about him?
I wasn't his close friend, so I couldn't give them information specifically about him. I was just working in a regional office, so they were more interested in when we were planning to hold meetings or protests, and of course, what kind of investigations we were conducting. We even cooperated on some of these investigations. Following any media outcry, the FSB would either imprison or protect a particular official.
But as well as keeping tabs on activists inside the country, the secretive Russian security services also appear to have been stepping up surveillance of Russians living abroad. Mikhail says the FSB pulled him out of Russia and sent him to the former Soviet Republic of Georgia to infiltrate the growing expatriate community there, escaping repressions at home, alongside a network of other FSB informants already in place. Informants like Vsevolod, another young political activist who says the FSB also threatened him with prison unless he sent detailed reports from Georgia on what Russian opposition figures there were thinking. Specifically on the Ukraine war, launched in February this year, which forced many Kremlin critics into exile. And the FSB's informant operations, he tells me, into overdrive. What does that say to you about what the fears are in Moscow, about what could happen in the future? What are they frightened of?
Russian special services are very well aware of our history. When a huge Russian immigrant community emerges abroad, where people speak freely to each other, work on projects together, help Ukrainian refugees, and basically create a mini Russia abroad, which is not under the control of FSB, they are afraid that history will repeat itself. In 1917, Lenin came to Moscow and started a Russian revolution, and they are terrified the regime will be threatened once again by war.
It was their opposition to the war, both Vsevolod and Mikhail say, finally compelled them to turn their backs on their FSB handlers. Mikhail even appeared on Georgian television, berating the Russian regime for which he had spied.
I texted the FSB guys and told them that they had started this war, that it was horrible. I saw all the images online, and they had turned my world upside down, because I not only felt hatred towards the Russian government, but towards myself for working for them for all these years.
It is self-hatred and a deep sense of guilt for the lies and betrayals he says he was forced to make. Matthew Chance, CNN, Amsterdam.